Under the old CRPC, when the police caught a criminal, they could seize immediate physical items like weapon or the stolen cash. But what about their luxury mansions, their massive commercial properties, or millions hidden in corporate bank accounts? There was no provision in the old CRPC to freeze, seize, or attach these properties. But now, with the coming of new criminal law, wherein CRPC is replaced by Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, a new section 107, is added in BNSS, Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, that had changed the game completely. It gives law enforcement a nuclear option, the power to target, freeze, and attach criminal wealth during the investigation itself. During the investigation itself. Now let's break down exactly how this law works and the power it gives to the police and the strict procedure they must follow. Section 107, it specifically targets proceeds of crime. This means any property, whether it is a piece of land, whether it's a piece of land, a luxury vehicle, a flat, or a fixed deposit that was derived or obtained directly or indirectly from criminal activity. And here is how we'll see that the police trigger this section step by step. So we have seen that it is specifically targeting the proceeds of crime. It can be land, vehicle, or any kind of fixed deposit or a flat. And now we'll see that how the step by step this entire procedure, which is given in section 107, is carried out by the police authorities. So the one. Step one is FIR and investigation. First, an official FIR must be registered and an active investigation must be underway. There should be an FIR and active investigation must be underway. Because in section 107, it is written that an officer making an investigation. So, which means that active investigation must be underway. Then, step two, the officer must have reason to believe. The investigating officer must uncover material evidence that creates a strong reason to believe that certain assets were bought using dirty money, using the proceed. These are the that assets are the proceeds of crime. The investigating officer must have a material evidence. He must have a strong reason to believe that these all assets are the proceeds of crime. These all assets are bought using dirty money. Now, step three. Step three is about senior approval, approval of the senior. The police cannot just act on their own whim. The investigating officer must present their findings and get written approval from a senior officer, specifically the SP, the superintendent of police, or the commissioner of police, or the commissioner of police. And once that approval is signed, that approval is rendered, the police march straight into the jurisdiction, state to the jurisdictional magistrate. Investigating officer, he gave a letter to the SP that I have a reason to believe that so assets has been acquired by the so and so criminal through dirty money. And when SP renders his approval to that application, now the investigating officer will go to the jurisdictional magistrate. Now, when the police submit their application to the court, they present all the asset record and proof of the crime. And if the magistrate is satisfied, the magistrate, this is very important thing, the magistrate should be satisfied. If the magistrate is satisfied, the court immediately shifts the burden of proof onto the accused by issuing a show cause notice. If investigating officers succeeded in satisfying the magistrate that these assets has been acquired by the accused through dirty money, or these assets are the proceeds of crime, and the court is satisfied, then court has this power, unique power. Now the burden of proof is shifted to accused. And how it is shifted? The court will issue a show cause notice. It will issue a show cause notice to the accused. And the law takes a strict 14 days clock. Strict 14 days clock. And within 14 days, you show me that your income is legally earned. Your these assets are legally earned. You acquired this property through legal means. Now, if the accused files a weak response, relies on bald denials, or ignores the notice, the magistrate passes a formal order of attachment. Formal order of attachment, and this property is legally frozen. But if the police suspects the criminal is about to sell the mansion or wire the cash out of India tomorrow, Section 107, subsection 5 will come into play. It gives the court the power to completely skip the notice and issue an immediate ex parte interim attachment order to lock down the assets instantly. Ex parte interim attachment order to lock down these assets instantly. So, under traditional asset forfeiture laws like the PMLA, attached properties sit frozen for years and eventually go straight to the government's vault. But Section 107 introduces a radical pro victim approach. Now, Section 107, it says. Earlier, also, there were some traditional assets forfeiture laws like Prevention of Money Laundering Act, where assets are frozen and they uh, remain frozen for years and eventually go straight into the government's vault. But in Section 107, it's little pro victim approach. It states that if the court confirms that seized items are indeed proceeds of crime, it bypasses the long trial process and direct the DM, district magistrate, to step in. And the DM is ordered, DM को आदेश किए जाते, he is ordered by the court to proportionally distribute the cash or liquidated proceeds directly to the innocent victims. जो innocent victims हैं उनको ये assets जो हैं ये distribute करो. The victims who are affected or defrauded by the crime. These decisions must happen within 60 days. ये 60 दिन के अंदर ये होना चाहिए. So see how the new criminal law is focusing on the timelines. This but no tarik pe tarik. And if there are no claimant, or if there is uh, leftover cash after compensating all the victims, only then does the remaining wealth get permanently forfeited to the state government. To the state government. So the ultimate takeaway from this section is that section 107 of the BNSS ensures that crime no longer pays. It turns a criminal investigation into a swift financial lockdown, hitting the syndicates, scammers, and drug lords exactly where it hurts. That means their pocket. Because, in drugs, why people sell drugs? Because it's easy money. Now they know that it's very hard in India to get somebody convicted. In cyber frauds, you have seen cyber fraudsters, they acquire easy money. They have acquired a lot of wealth, but they're caught in very few cases by the police. So now this power is given in section 107, that if any active investigation is going on and there is an FIR against a person, and investigating officer has a reason to believe that these assets are acquired by the criminal through dirty money, through the proceed, these assets are the proceeds of crime, then these assets can be attached. Now, by empowering local police to target illicit wealth early on, the law aims to paralyze criminal operations before they can manipulate the system. पैसा होगा criminal के पास, he will hire a good lawyer. He can manipulate the system. He can influence the witnesses. That's why this section 107 is a great tool for the police officers. And this is a very potent weapon in the hands of the police to curtail crime. So this is section 107, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita.